Today is an exciting day because it marks the start of a project that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and that is create my own portable system out of a home console. We've seen this online a lot, right? There are really cool projects to check out where someone will take like a Nintendo 64 and morph it into this little portable system that kind of resembles like a little Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance, but it plays Nintendo 64 cartridges natively, and that's because they take the Nintendo 64, they cut up the motherboard, and they fit it into this custom shell that they created. I would always look at those and be like, wow, I really want to make one of those, but then I take a look at the build process and the amount of knowledge and sometimes custom parts that go into it, and I realize it might be a bit too involved for like a Saturday project or something, right? These take months, sometimes years of planning, gathering parts, and making sure everything works together. So when I saw that a kit was being produced that would essentially jump you ahead of a lot of those steps and missteps that probably go into some of the trial and error for making everything work, I got really excited because it is for the Wii, and I managed to get one of those kits. And this one is the G-Boy Rev 3 from G-Man Mods, and it will allow us to take a Wii system and turn it into what looks like a Game Boy. Now, I will tell you, this series will probably end up being multiple parts. I'm not sure how many parts it will be, but after taking a look at the tutorials that they posted online for this kit, it's like 20 steps, then each step has like its own set of steps, and like just trimming the Wii motherboard, which yes, we'll have to take a Dremel and cut up the Wii motherboard to make it fit in here, is like a whole thing on its own. So I think it's gonna be a really fun project going forward. And I also had to order some more parts as well because not everything technically comes in this kit. For example, you still need to get buttons, which you can use the DS Lite buttons. So I ordered some of those. You also need batteries and you need a Wii. It doesn't come with the Wii system, you still have to buy one, but fortunately, I managed to get a later revision model because I was told that that is more efficient with the batteries, and because they had a die shrink, I managed to grab one of the newer black Wiis that did not have the GameCube ports on top. When it's soft modded, it will still play GameCube games, but since I don't even need the disk drive or those top ports, I went ahead and picked one up on eBay super cheap. It was under 20 bucks because it doesn't read discs. And I don't care because I don't need the disk drive. So I just need to open it up, cut that motherboard apart, and I'll have what I need for less than 20 bucks from the Wii side. As for the batteries, I found some legitimate Samsung batteries that I could use. Sometimes you'll find like counterfeit batteries online. I mostly had to do some research and check out reviews and stuff for the products that are being sold. So after picking some of those up, I'm just waiting for those to come in currently. And I mostly wanted to spend today checking out the kit that you would get if you ordered one of these, so you can kind of see what goes into it. And I will tell you up front, the kit is not cheap. It is $325. They currently have it up on their site now. I believe it's on a pre-order, and I went ahead and ordered it because I was really interested to see if someone who has not tried to build a portable system from like start to finish could do it okay with their kit. I'm not expecting it to come out perfect or anything, but if I can get this system built and it working with a Wii that I cut up with a Dremel and wired all together, I think that'd be pretty cool. So let's start by taking a look at the box itself. G-Man Mods, G-Boy Rev 3, and it does have the kind of this Game Boy aesthetic, right? This has quite a bit of stuff in here that I would need, with only minor things, like I said before, that I would need to pick up. It says the ingenuity to take not only the power but the library of a home console on the go is what makes the G-Boy truly revolutionary. Designed by veteran console portabilizer G-Man, this kit is every hobbyist dream come true. The idea here obviously is that they have gathered a ton of parts and know-how, by the way, in the tutorial process that they have kind of laid out for us step by step, so that you don't have to try to figure out what parts work with what and where can you get things printed up, like 3D print for the casing and all that. It's all included in here, which obviously is factored into the cost of this overall kit. Now, obviously the great part about using the Wii itself is the soft modding community around it has enabled it to work with a ton of systems, right? Like obviously it'll play Wii games, but like in the same time, we're building a portable GameCube, we're building a portable Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx. I mean, the list goes on for the amount of software that a soft modded Wii will support. And that's what's really exciting to me. Yes, we're building a Wii that's portable, but like all of the systems, including that GameCube being kind of in the palm of your hand, is really exciting. All right, so let's take a look in here and see how this would show up if you ordered it. I had that little slip on that I'd take off, and we open it up here, and it looks like they have everything labeled in bags, and they have a little bit of bubble wrap there. And they also have something here set up that you can join their Discord server if you have questions. And I did have a few questions up front before I even ordered this, and I had talked to Shank Mods because they did a video kind of showcasing this whole thing, and they were very quick to respond, very helpful, and it made it a bit easier to get things like the Wii, the correct Wii, and the batteries and all of that. So big shout out to Shank Mods for helping out with that. This looks like up front, this is the 3D printed casing here, kind of encased in like this bubble wrap that's kind of difficult to get out. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of help it out there. And it's definitely kind of has this 3D print feel, I will say that. I think it would be nice if this was kind of like maybe an aluminum. That would be really cool. It's certainly something that's come out of a 3D printer, all right? You can certainly tell that. But I guess you could do some things. Maybe you could put some grips on the back or something to kind of help it out with the feel, but it's certainly grippy enough. Just maybe we can go up in quality at some point when it comes to the casing, but it is all custom fit so that all this stuff will work together. The trigger placement back here seems pretty solid since you would be holding it here. Yeah, that'll work. We also have a spot here for the fan because we will have to have active cooling on the Wii itself. Yeah, this overall, you know what, this is a good shape, good form factor. They have a pretty large screen here. I believe it's 3.5-inch screen that will they'll work with this. I think everything here is pretty solid overall for where it's all placed. And then we have just a ton of bags here that basically show everything you would need that they just include in here for you to be able to wire up. And they're all labeled, which is nice. They have a little manual down here to go to. But it looks like we have two different sticks down here. I guess they are Joy-Con sticks. Hopefully they don't drift or anything. We'll see about that. I've been seeing more and more third-party joysticks kind of come out that are supposed to not be as prone to drifting. I don't know how likely that is, but it does look like it uses the similar joysticks to what the Switch uses for its Joy-Cons there. We have two analog sticks, the GC Plus controller PCB here, shoulder button PCB. We do have an LCD mount. It looks like they've really, I mean, look, they have all these pieces that they 3D printed, so it all fits in very, very nicely. Tons of screw holes as well. I believe they also have all of your screws here, all also individually bagged and labeled inside as well to go along with the instructions. I noticed when I was looking through the instructions, they were naming all these different screws. So good to see they didn't just drop them all in here, and I hope you could figure it out. We have all these bagged individually. Looks like we have our heatsink here. This is a full 30mm fan, large copper plate. It has some weight to it. Actually, out of everything in here, I definitely want to check this out. This is our, like I said, our plate. Wow, yeah, that is pretty serious there. A very sizable piece to kind of go along there. Then we have our blower fan here, as well as a 27mm heatsink to go along with this copper plate that'll sit on the chips. This was something big that they mentioned when they were going through the different features of it. Big audio amp PCB here, as well as the speaker. It should sound pretty good overall, and it has a headphone jack as well, of course, but having this audio amp should make it sound relatively loud. I think speaker placement looks like it's down here, right? So it should get pretty good sound since it's aimed at you and not like on the back somewhere. We do have our USB-C, internal USB drive PCB, so it will charge through USB-C, and it has a USB adapter. You will also have to get your own SD card, which isn't a big deal because I already have several 256 gigabyte SD cards that I can use in here, and that should do pretty well, I would say, for loading up all different types of GameCube and Wii games, and of course, any of the Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo games that I want to add. Here we have a big LCD display and driver board here. Like I said, the LCD display should be pretty good at 3.5 inches. It definitely takes up a good chunk of the body, and that's what I would like. Obviously, a large enough screen that we can fit in here within reason. So I think something like that will be pretty good. I'll be curious to see like something like Smash Melee when it zooms really far out, how easy it'll be to see some of your characters on the screen because they can get kind of small then, but I think for the most part, the 3.5-inch LCD display should be pretty good. So in total here, we have 8 different bags full of all types of components and our casing here. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be quite a lengthy process, but I am really excited to get into it. If anything, it'll be a good learning process, right? To see what they would have to go through to build these out. Because I mean, think about this. If you were someone who just sat down and was like, I just want to build a portable system, you'd have to basically fill up different bags like these to make it all work together and have to source the parts from different places. So this at least brings everything together and makes it a bit easier for someone who's starting out like myself in trying to create a portable system. So the next step, I think, really to start with is to rip the Wii apart, cut up the motherboard, and get started that way so I can start putting everything together. I'll just have to wait. The batteries should hopefully be here this week coming up. And I guess we can have a little series here of me trying to build a Wii portable system. It is an exciting thing to consider when it's all said and done, since a portable Wii could potentially be one of the best portable systems to build out with the soft modding community. But let me know what you guys think about this kit here. Like I said, it's $325, so it's not a cheap kit, but for what I'm seeing here and the amount of time and effort that's gone into trying to separate everything for a beginner and write out an entire full tutorial with several steps above that as well, it does seem like a lot of time and effort has gone into this, but we'll find out more as I go through it in an attempt to build a portable Wii. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like the video on the way out if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, and I'll see you next time.